Hey, family. Got interrupted. My last video on progression from healthy living to chemical dependency. It cut off on me. I had videos in there so if my storage gets full, it just stops the video. But this is going to be the second part of that video. So this is where I ended off the addiction cycle. Hopefully that's focusing, if a phone even focuses, but that's the addiction cycle, and that's what I'm getting ready to read about. It gave me time to cut up the pork chops that I cooked the other day and get them frying up, and have those with some stuffing that I cooked, and made me another cup of caffeine stimulant. Check out the last video on, like I said, video. This is the same packet that I was just doing my video on. It cut me out, so I'm continuing on with the video. But yeah, so that's why I said stimulant, because the caffeine is a stimulant. Check out the last video. All right, back where we were. The addiction cycle. Short-term gratification. Substance abuse. Feel good now. That's A, B, C, and D. Feel good now. I want what I want when I want it. Substance use appears positive due to short-term gain, and gains are short-lived. Long-term pain and dysfunction. Okay, so it's short-term gratification, long-term pain and dysfunction, addictive thinking, denial and rationalization, increased tolerance, the loss of control, biopsychosocial damage. So that's the addiction cycle. I just read out what short-term gratification was, substance abuse. Long-term pain and dysfunction is the second step in the cycle, which is substance use begins to cause consequences. Consequences result in emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual pain. Pain lasts longer than short-term gains. Addictive thinking. Long-term pain and dysfunction trigger preoccupation, obsession, and compulsion. Obsession is when a person thinks about, plans, and looks forward to substance use. Compulsion is it becomes stressed and uncomfortable until the urge is so strong the user is unable to resist substance use. And the belief that substance use will relieve pain results in continued use. So yeah, it might start off as just being a coping mechanism, get away from the house, all the kids crying, get away from the significant other who is nagging because she's not happy with something about you, or how it starts, I don't know, going out with friends because you're bored all the time or you're lonely, and pretty soon it just starts to become habitual. That's the way I call it, habitual. Next stage, or next step or stage in the addiction cycle is denial and rationalization. Unconscious mechanisms or in parentheses defenses develop that prevent recognizing the consequences. Defenses enable addiction cycle to continue, and defenses become drug-centered and destructive. 5. Increased tolerance. Body chemistry begins adapting to the substances. As tolerance develops, so that's A. B is as tolerance develops, substance use increases for the user to achieve the same effects. Go from drinking beer to taking shots, and next thing you know, you're just drinking mixed drinks. And increased tolerance, man. Go from popping one Valium or whatever pill, oxycodone, oxycontin, whatever it is, to taking 1.5 to pretty soon taking 2, maybe 3. Tolerance develops. Loss of control is the next stage or step in the cycle, and that is feelings and emotions become distorted. One of the substance Once the substance is ingested, control over frequency and quantity of use is lost. That's B. C. Substance use activates the addiction cycle again. D. Unsuccessful efforts to control substance use. So that's in the loss of control. It's number 7, the final stage in the cycle, biopsychosocial damage. Damage to your physical health, damage to your mind, your brain, your thinking process, the chemicals, the pathways in your brain, my brain, everybody's brain, not just you or me, or it's every human. As pain, damage to relationship, which is social. So that's the biopsychosocial damage from it. And that's, yeah. As pain and stress increase, efforts to relieve or control substance use also increases and fails. The addiction cycle becomes a trap of substance use to relieve pain, which causes more pain, demanding more substance use. This is called addictive use. Just reading it straight from what I was provided, and then I showed you the cycle, and it's short-term gratification, long-term pain and dysfunction, obsession and compulsion, which is addictive thinking, denial and rationalization, increased tolerance. 5. 6 was loss of control. 7 was the biopsychosocial damage, which is the mind, body, mind, and behavior. And then damage increases pain. So I guess there was an 8th step. Or 8, yeah. I had this freaking circle all around it. So there's 8 in that cycle. All right. See if I can't find a PDF of the cycle and attach that. But you could just rewind it and pause it and then draw it out. Like I said, when you get stuff, use your hand to draw stuff out and read it. And it sinks into your mind better. So, I would just rewind it, pause it, look at it, and draw your own cycle of addiction. Where are we at? The lost one is that. There's that. Okay. All right. Chemical dependency always begins with substance use, but not all substance use leads to addiction. Some people who use substances recognize the consequences and stop using. Social substance users do not use for the high or intoxication of the substance. Others who get caught up in the use, denial, and pain of the addiction cycle develop a dependency to the substance. Dependency can be psychological or physical. Signs of psychological dependency include a consistent desire to use the substance, setting up a lifestyle committed to the substance, thinking about the substance continually, that's preoccupation, feeling depressed or anxious when the substance is unavailable, and building relationships around substance use as normal behavior. Some signs of physical dependency include tolerance to the substance, shakes, nausea, hallucinations when the substance is removed, and craving for more of the drug once you've ingested some of it. Both the American Health Association and the World Health Organization have determined that chemical dependency is a disease. Okay? That's why if you got health insurance, Badger Care, whatever you get as part of the being poor, it covers addiction. It covers even nicotine gum. It covers you getting treatment and counseling and stuff like that. So, like I said, I'm not a professional in anything other than fixing cars. So do your own diligence, do your own research. But categorize it as a disease. Chemical dependency or addiction is a disease in which there is a mental and or physical need to use substances even though that substance use causes harm to the user and those close to the user. I got 6 OWIs, 6 drinking while driving, man. Driving drunk, put it that way. Lost many jobs because I was calling in because I was hungover. Of course, I always found jobs easily just because I'm smart. I know how to do a lot of things. I've learned a lot. Um, the body of an addicted user reacts to substances differently than the body of a non-addicted user. It is a condition in which a person develops biopsychosocial dependence to mood-altering substances. So that's body, mind, and relationships. But there are 4 characteristics to chemical dependency that need to be considered: primary, progressive, chronic, and fatal. So these are numbered 1 through 4. I'm going to go number 1 is chemical dependency is primary. This means that chemical dependency stands alone as a separate illness. A person that has a dependency to chemicals will need to seek treatment before other problems can be addressed. Chemical dependency is progressive. This means that the illness and the resulting problems get worse if the substance use continues. The consequences, man: losing driver's licenses, losing your home, becoming homeless, going to prison. And I'm just sharing examples that I experienced. Okay, a lot of you might have a lot worse experiences, and share them. Let me know about them. I mean, you don't have to, but I'm here. You can leave some comments about it, or eventually I'll have some way where I'm actually communicating with people, and maybe more than one of us will be communicating with each other. Maybe we'll start our own little group, guys. Family, brother. Yeah, let's get something started. It's part of my purpose. Chemical dependency is chronic. This means that addiction to substances lasts forever. Okay? The body will continue to be addicted even after substance use has stopped. Okay? Chemical dependency is potentially fatal. My brother died from fentanyl poisoning because some heroin that he got was overcut with fentanyl. All right? In a tent on the railroad tracks. A couple of months after he was released out of treatment in prison to live with me, but he decided to leave and not stay with me because he wanted to get back to his relationship with the woman. But in a few months, what was that? It wasn't long, a few months, man. But anyway, this means that if not treated, life-threatening health conditions may result if substance use continues. Some of these conditions include heart disease, high blood pressure, hepatitis, or cirrhosis of the liver, and stroke. Also, suicide and homicide have strong connections with chemical dependency. Some of these health conditions continue to be life-threatening even after substance use has stopped. Didn't say anything about overdosing in there. See if it gets down here. It did not say anything about a person overdosing on drugs. Huh. Can't believe I didn't notice that. Not anywhere in here. Research in addiction revealed that there are different ways to develop addiction. Okay. The 3 most common pathways into addiction are genetic predisposition. I need to do some looking into that. I heard that it passes down through the genes. I don't know. Maybe. They say it does. They're the professionals. They're the scientists, the doctors. Long-term use of large quantities. So these are the three most common pathways. So genetics, long-term use or large quantities, long-term use, becoming habitual. 3, the use of substances while under high stress levels. The 3 most common pathways: using while under high stress levels. Stress management is one of the subjects that's coming up here soon. Genetic predisposition. Children with addicted family history have higher risk to develop addiction due to inherited genes that are adapted to substances being present. You sure it's not just from us learning it as a kid, watching it and seeing it? Our genes are that powerful that substance use can pass down through the genes? They only need to use the substance to be addicted. That's genetics, predisposition, just because addiction was in our family history. Long-term use. Large quantities of addictive substances used over long periods of time break down the body's defenses and cause the body to need them present to function. The body becomes dependent on the chemical. Substance use under high stress. People who are under high stress levels are less able to defend themselves against the chemical changes that substance use causes in the body. Progression. As the cycle of addiction continues, the biopsychosocial damage gets worse and is recognized as symptoms of addiction. These symptoms become predictable and develop in 3 stages: early, middle, and late. Early stage symptoms. I wrote above, major symptoms is development of tolerance to substance. I wrote why people keep using and circled development of tolerance. Obsession and or compulsion. So these are early stage symptoms. Using substances in larger quantities. Using substances more frequently. The body is making biochemical changes to adapt to the substance. Thinking and relationships become centered around substance use. Alcohol, whatever it is, marijuana, whatever. Middle stage symptoms. Okay, that was early stage symptoms. Now here's middle stage. Major symptoms. Major symptom is loss of control of use and or behaviors. Intoxication begins to create problems and consequences. And in parentheses, maybe I was wrong about consequences, the word consequences not being negative. But and then I put in parentheses negative in between consequences. So negative sequences. All right. Negative consequences. Negative sequences. Okay. All right. So it is negative, I guess. I don't have to look it up. I might I'm curious, but and I realize that sometimes I get a little quiet in my videos, so I realize that I do need to get a clip-on microphone or something that attaches to my phone, eventually a camera or something. But all right, intoxication begins to create problems and consequences. These are middle stage symptoms. Sorry if I'm losing you. Family and friends notice problems with your job, your health, your marriage, or legal. Substance user identifies that substance use is causing problems. Not using substances begins to cause emotional or physical pain. I put abstinence next to that. Substance use to relieve physical, emotional pain, relapse. Functioning becomes normal only when substance use is involved, continued abuse. So I got abstinence, relapse, continued abuse. And that was not using substances begins to cause emotional or physical pain in your abstinence. So substance use to relieve physical, emotional pain, which is relapse. And then functioning becomes normal only when substances use is involved. So continued abuse. All right. Those were all the abstinence, relapse, and continued abuse is what I attributed those stages. Oh, getting a headache here. Got to eat. At this point in the progression of addiction, the only alternative to continued substance use and problems is total abstinence and treatment. I put education and support network next to that. Late stage symptoms. Major symptom is deterioration of biopsychosocial health. Physical damage to the body includes brain, liver, heart, and digestive tract. Uncontrollable mood changes become common. Family members leave. Addict withdraws from society. Loses job. Substance use is now a reaction to life problems. Addict recognizes inability to function physically, mentally, or spiritually without substance use. The first task in treatment is detoxification, removing the toxic substance from the body. The decision to stop substance use automatically causes withdrawal to begin. Acute withdrawal symptoms can be serious, and the substance user needs to have medical attention available before the withdrawal process starts. Withdrawal is the pain a person develops when they stop using substances. It is a biopsychosocial process that develops in two phases. So this is withdrawal. Acute is physical. Withdrawal usually lasts up to 28 days. Symptoms include anxiety, sweats, nausea, headaches, hallucinations, increased heart rate, and sleeplessness. The second stage of withdrawal, post-acute, is psychological withdrawal, lasts for 6 months to a lifetime. Symptoms include confused thinking, memory problems, emotional overreaction, increased stress, sleep problems, and accident proneness. Acute, part of the pain from withdrawal is created by physical damage and the body's need for addictive substance. Post-acute, part of the pain is caused by psychological, mind and thoughts reaction to losing the main way of coping with life using substances. Part of the pain is social, relationship, family, friends, caused by giving up relationships built around using the chemicals. Way of coping with life. I put a line there, new coping skills. And I put emotions, anxiety. Something that was hitting home with me when I was reading this back then, almost 14 years ago. Why change? I wrote these up on top of the page. Why change? ? Purpose, mindset different. Okay. So treatment, education, and support can assist an addict to make significant progress, 80%, within the first staple there. It says first 3 years, most of which happens in the first year. Pt.2 management skills that are vital for recovery include, what is that, post-acute withdrawal? Pt.2? Yeah, it must be post-acute withdrawal. Okay, so management skills that are vital for recovery include good nutrition, exercise, fun and play, resolutions of family, work, and relationship problems that were created by an active addiction, habitual use, an abusing lifestyle. Family members must be part of the recovery process as they have become dysfunctional by the drug use as well. Roles, rules, and rituals of the family must be redefined and restructured. Communication skills must be learned or relearned in sobriety. Because substance use has biopsychosocial effect on the person, addiction also has to be repaired in a biopsychosocial process. The body, bio, needs to be physically repaired. Balanced diet, nutrition, regular sleep patterns, and regular exercise. The mind, psycho, needs to be corrected. Learn abstinence, problem solving, emotional management, and rational thinking skills. The relationships, social, needs to be changed. Sobriety based healthy social activities and relationships need to be developed. The process of recovery usually happens in 6 stages. Pre-treatment / transitional. Main task is to identify substance use as the problem. Step one or stage 1. Pre-treatment / transitional. Main task is to identify substance use as the problem. Second stage, stabilization. Main task is to learn how to not use substances. Permanent attempts at abstinence begin here. Third stage, early recovery. Main task is to develop healthy substance-free relationships, resources, and activities. Stage 4, middle recovery. Main task is to resolve issues with family, job, and friends due to past use. Stage 5, late recovery. Main task is to resolve any issues from childhood that cause problems currently. Main task is to resolve any issues from childhood, that's late recovery, that cause problems currently. I think I'm probably in that stage. I haven't even started that stage. I just now started that stage when I started this YouTube channel. But yeah, the main task is to resolve. This is middle recovery, stage 4. Main task is to resolve issues with family, job, and friends due to. I guess I've just stayed away from. But anyway, stage 6, maintenance, daily practice, all skills to keep life substance free and healthy. It is very important to have as many support resources as possible, and the more accessible they can be, the better. Some examples of support resources that have been very successful are 12-step meetings, local churches, community events that are not alcohol or drug related, family, and other non-using people and activities. These can be the difference between a tough day in recovery or relapse. That's that, guys. So I didn't get a chance to. This would have been a long video if it didn't cut off on me earlier. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna get in here to my journal entry. You know what that is, guys. So this is we are on October 17th of 2011, guys. Almost 14 years ago that I did this. What was positive and what was negative about today? For me, the positive aspect of today was attending the Squad 4 graduation because it gave me something to look forward to, and it is a good day for them. The negative about today was that I did not get to tell my family that I love them. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, maybe I was supposed to get a phone call or something. I don't know. But that one was initialed by the sergeant. I had to put yes sir by it to acknowledge it. What were the main feelings I experienced today? Confidence about being successful in my sobriety this time because I am learning information in AODA that I never got out of any other AODA classes I took. What were the main feelings I experienced today? This is question 2. There's 4 questions. Confidence is main feeling was confidence about being successful in my sobriety this time because I am learning information in AODA, which is alcohol and other drug abuse class. that I never got out of any other AODA classes I took. What helped me make it through the day? Question 3. Doing the things I need to today to ensure my success in this program. Just taking it all in, make the best of it. Question 4. What did I learn today? Today I learned what goes into a graduation and what some got from the opportunity here at CIP. Okay. Yep, because when they graduate, they get up and give a speech, and other squads, newer squads, get to see there's 6 squads, so squad 3 will see squad 4, 5, and 6 graduate before they do, or no, just squad 1 and 2 graduate before they do, but squad 6 had to watch me graduate, then watch squad 4 graduate, then watch squad 5 graduate. So yeah. But yep, that was it, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Keep pushing forward. Never give up. Just because we have done something so long does not mean we have to keep doing it. Next time, guys.